Hey, ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Over coming to you with an old friend of the channel. It's Kpen 97, competent player, up against Koi-chan up in the corner over here. Koi-chan is playing, obviously, the Red Soviet forces in the southwest, though. Of course, we're going to have the Wehrmacht under Kpen. And Kpen is bringing along a commander we don't see very often, the Assault Support Doctrine. The cargo truck is always an interesting idea to bring to this map, to bring at all, really, to be fair. It's kind of like the vampire thing from the original one, but maybe we'll see that, maybe we won't. He's also got Elite Troops Doctrine and Mechanized Assault, so a lot more standard commander choices. Now, Koi-chan, for his own part, is also bringing something a little bit different, Urban Defense Tactics. You don't often see this one. It is still a fairly solid doctrine. See a meeting engagement happening between the engineers of both sides, basically. He's also got anti-infantry tactics, which is even more rare in my mind, as well as Lend-Lease tactics. So Koi-chan definitely being a little bit more unique in the decisions he's making thus far. Kpen, for his point, though, he's already going to rush out a couple of machine guns, which is not a bad idea, to be perfectly frank. Mostly because I feel like those Soviets are going to be kind of aggressive. They have two conscripts out already, and a third one on the way. And Crossroads is a very, very lane-dependent map. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that there's clear positions to which you can see it's very defined. Okay, you can come through the area from this direction, you can come through this direction, you can come from over here. But either way, you can cover all three of those with a single machine gun. I'm not saying he's going to put a machine gun over here behind this hay bale, but nevertheless, having some anti-infantry anti-suppress in the early part of the game would be a very, very good idea. Now, Koi-chan is, like I said already, he's just picking up a lot of his resources. He's going to connect his fuel a few seconds ahead of the Germans, actually probably about 20 or 30 seconds, because the Germans are dependent on support weapons to keep back the Russians. And that might allow us to see a earlier T-70, maybe? I don't know, it's possible. A fourth conscript coming out, kind of a not unheard of. That's a kind of a harsh way to put it. It's very, very unconventional. You expect to see more in the way of support weapon compania, even a special rifle command, something to kind of force back this early Godhouse take, which is a very, very standard thing for the Southern player to use. But it seems that it is not the major concern of either player to really be kind of pushing too far forward into this. Conscripts moving to the south to back up their combat engineer brothers, while the Germans do pick up and connect their fuel into play. And machine gun moving up to create a base of fire for the Pios to fall back on, and they will do that in just a moment here as the conscripts are going to charge, I'm sure. No, they're not going to hide. They're going to be in negative cover here, so that machine gun's going to put them into suppression. No, they get away, but the combat engineers, they're forced to retreat. Very, very gutsy play coming out of Koi-chan. And some grenadiers not coming out for Kpen 97 to kind of back up some of his players a little bit more. It's like playing Ring Around the Rosie with a machine gun. Not sure it's the greatest game to play. Maybe it's more like Red Rover, send the Russians on over. But no, that's not going to be the case either. Instead, it's just this machine gun's beleaguered on all sides. It's like, okay, well, we can't have somebody attacking us over there. They took another squad and they threw it over there. They took another squad and they attacked me from over there. So as this machine gun just plays, how many people can I suppress at once? And indeed, he has one squad pinned already. Grenadiers exchanging fire with another one over here to the south. But these houses are going to lose a ton of their resale value if they do not get these vile firefights to be happening someplace else. Eventually, we are going to see a lot of these Russians falling back, conscripts charging forwards. Not entirely sure how intelligent a decision that is. There's two models left. One burst of fire should suppress them. I know they're going to retreat now. Okay, there we go. Finally. Oh, interesting. So what they did, they tried to entice that machine gun to switch its field of fire around to the other directions to allow the combat engineer to charge forward. It's a very, very interesting idea. Now it's a race. Who gets to the house first? And it's the Germans. It's the Germans. And I don't care what you're saying there. The neighborhood is now gone because it's just a class warfare going on here. The Russians don't like the Germans don't like the Russians, and it's like West Side Story, except like the worst shootout ever. Like, guys, you're like right next to each other. You got like the evil guy school of marksmanship. It's a little bit better now. But Corey Chan is still definitely taking a lot of hits here. He is on the edge of this house, which will allow him to get a slight firepower advantage. No longer, though. And he's going to be putting down, that's going to be the support weapon Compania. So maybe we'll see a mortar out of this? Might be the best play he's got going on at the moment. I don't know. Kpen is going to tech up, though. He's already got that battle phase 1, I think, either completely done or most of the way. Oh, about halfway there. And the infantry company, obviously. But his own pioneers were like, yo, bro, we got to go. This meeting is adjourned. And, of course, the conscripts take that as a sign that they can be a little bit more aggressive about things. They are charging forward. They're going to take out this middle part of the VP and start draining tickets again out of those German coffers. And what crazy... Okay, for some reason I thought that machine gun was focused a little bit further to the west. But that field of fire is just delicious. Like, a lip-smackingly good. Like, melt in your mouth, not in your hand kind of good. Conscripts in the middle part of the field. Can these guys go down? No, they're going to back away just in time and allow the grenadiers to shift up and pick up their territory for their own vile usage. Interesting to note that right now, everything for the Russians is back in base. And it is a mortar coming out to put fire onto that house. So as soon as Kpen sees a little bit of fire being put down in the garrison, expect to see just the machine gun set out in the open. And a frustration decap happening over here with this pioneer squad. While the Russians go and have themselves a little bit of borscht, maybe a little bit of vodka. And I wish there was a dancing emote you could do just for fun. And Company of Heroes too, but unfortunately that will not be the case. Instead, we're going to see this massive Russian blob shifting around to the south. A lot of these conscripts kind of getting backed up by this flamethrower and this mortar. I don't know why he's shifting it down here to that far south. He should be able to hit that garrison. If not completely, it might be awfully close. We'll see at home with though. Or maybe he's just aiming down to the south trying to find some machine gun. Yeah, he's just dropping rounds in the old machine gun position. But Kpen is doing something you always want to do with a machine gun. Redeploying your support weapons. So that way, your opponent can't take advantage with indirect fire. Right now we're also going to see these conscripts are going to come around behind this machine gun though and probably roast and toast these guys, really knocking it to them. But the Germans do have the Soviets under a trip cap. And while it's not going to last for too much longer, in fact it's already gone, that 222 is still going to be able to be rather effective, at least for the interim. Is Koi Chang going to go for that? Yep, he's going for the anti-tank grenades, but the 222 did not quite know that, saying, hey bro, I want no part of this, and backing away. And indeed, it's now the Germans that are on a retreat for a fair bit of the territory. Ooh, but those combat engineers make it out just in time. The fires of their passion are burning out, flaming out, and yep, everyone just says it's time for a quick breather. So it's able to retake the northern VP, and indeed will also take back their fuel point over time. But this 222 is going to find the mortar to the south and keep that firing position for this machine gun in the center part of the map at least healthy for a little while longer. AT grenade coming out, and it's time to go for a medic. I think it's time for your annual checkup, my little 222. But that's not going to happen too quickly, too soon. I can't believe it's been 9 minutes of this game already, 474 to 460. While we're having a quick breather, I have to note, I played a couple of 2v2s recently, and I'm deciding I'm really starting to enjoy the kind of interplay that goes on between factions with that. Might cast a replay or two of mine. I did that a long time ago, and it's with a couple of 1v1s. I will admit, guys, it's not extremely high tier play. I'm goofing around, but at the same time, I hope you guys will enjoy them. Keep an eye out for them. 222 in the meantime is going to catch these conscripts on a retreat. Could we see first blood happening? First blood! Oh my gosh, these guys have the worst luck. They're retreating through absolutely every piece of German personnel possible. This gun is out in the field though, as is a Pack 40. So both guys expecting a lot more vehicle play to be happening here. Mortar in the meantime putting fire on top of that house, and if there's no roof, it is gonna mean a very, very swift retreat happening out for that machine gun. Oorah coming forward, but Conscript is going to get into this house. That'll be just fine for them. Question is, can he take out this house before the conscripts can escape? That would be quite a coup. And they're getting savage. They're getting some hips back out, but they're going to get forced into retreat. Yikes, but it's not be too much easier for that machine gun either. Telemon's already after Kpen. As his constant conscript play will keep Kpen on his toes. Grenadier shifting around to the west. Maybe we're going to see a little bit of interplay back and forth, but appears not too much just yet. .222 is going to take an AT grenade here. Going to get damaged engine yet again. I hate that, honestly, as a .222, because it's like, you just want to get out and stretch your legs a little bit, and it's just not going to happen every single time you go out there. They won't let you play with your ball. They just want to make you go home every single time. That's just going to sit in the center part of the map as well, backed up by the mortar, backed up by the flame combat engineers, and you can bet your sweet bippy that those guys might be going down fairly soon. .222 isn't quite able to take out that house. Yikes. And Pack 40 is going to come under fire. And yep, it's going to be Lend-Lease tactics coming for Koi Chan. He can call in those Shermans, the Sherman Cs, I think they're called. M4Cs. Yeah, with the 76mm upgun. But he's also going to go for the Dushka. You can see that being called in right about now. And that Dushka gives him a delicious edge and firepower. Like scary. Like kissing your cousin and not knowing it's scary. But that .222 continues to be just constantly barraged by just AT grenades. But the MG42 in the center part of the map is establishing himself. He's like, yo, I got these awesome, cool rounds. The mortar says, I don't care, bro. I don't care at all. Is he going to get away before that last round comes in? He does. He has a sliver of health. Had he not retreated, he might actually have lost that squad. And with the Dushka on the map, this thing can just absolutely destroy the .222 in a heartbeat. Yowza. Okay. Okay. In the eastern side of the map, we're going to see a little bit of meeting engagement between these grenadiers and these conscripts. Not going to go too well for the grenadiers. And I'm finding myself kind of wishing that the mortar rounds could actually do friendly fire right now, but only because those guys are just so outnumbered. I kind of feel bad for them. A round comes in. And see, that really should be doing some damage right there to the Soviets. Just saying. Complaining, right? Maybe just a little bit, but just saying. Dushka comes forward, and oh my gosh, a teller mine. Oh my god, that was lucky. Oh, that was lucky. Mortar rounds do take out most of that Pioneer squad, but that was a super, super lucky teller mine. First things first, teller mines don't often actually explode for infantry. We just kind of have to be, encouraged. With that .222, the round came in, and kaboom, kaboom. That was the end of our noble friend, the Dushka 38. 36? 38. 38. Over, stick to your guns, man. Just be confident. You gotta be confident. 222 and the machine gun fighting together, forcing those conscripts into retreat, and that this gun keeps getting more and more troops added to it, but it's still not a particularly healthy place for him. And if he is at all aggressive, he could go and savage his mortar team, but he's going to lose some pioneers to do it. Center part of the field, we'll continue to see this machine gun suppressing a lot of these conscripts. This mortar just can't get enough rounds on top of this machine gun to be effective in the long run. But the .222 can no longer rush in. Mostly because of this gun. And geez, that's 76mm. It doesn't seem like a whole lot until you find like that, muzzle velocity. And dear God, at that point, this has become dangerous. LMG Grens have now been on the field, though, for a little bit of time. And indeed, it doesn't mean that things are going to be bad for the conscripts, but does start to give some firepower back to the Germans. Even without the machine gun supporting them. That will be happening pretty soon. Grun's going to back away before they can get savaged by the mortar. Good idea right there. A lot of Koi Chan's material already has at least 1-star veterancy. It's just that Gun that's got nothing. And up into the north, it's going to see who has a hotter flame. Is it the blue fire? Is it the red hot fire? My money right now is on that blue fire because he is in negative cover, but he decides to back away because he's a gentleman. And he doesn't want to make the Russians feel bad. He's going to give them the field for now. Just for now. And a super quick one. A moderately quick Panzer IV coming out for the Germans. And indeed, they could be matched by something for... maybe an Su-76? No, but no. Maybe he's just going to wait for the M4C Shermans and just start bringing them in like crazy. He's got so much fuel right now. Mostly a function of using this material right here. So, available fuel, it gets dropped, and lots more comes in. I'm really surprised he's not really investing in any kind of vehicle play, though. Well, with any kind of incredible regularity. Is this going to under fire, but it gets out a lot pretty easily. No, not just some mortar rounds coming in. Not mortar rounds, excuse me. Machine gun rounds coming in. Had this 222 charged forward, though, and got another couple of rounds onto that TM-35. We could have maybe have seen another devastating hit to the Allied war machine. Pio's on the south. Are we dropping down any more mines? No, just they're capping things out a little bit more. P4 is going to come up forward, though, and they're going to announce his presence fairly soon, I should think. And I have to wonder, is Kpen going to tech up? I'm not sure it'd be the greatest idea for him. Nah. I mean, he's got some late game call-ins if he wants them. In fact, that's all he needs to do. He's got a Tiger tank in every single one of them, so no point in teching up. Some of these folks had a brief, like, sneezing fit there. Oh, geez, armor, oh my gosh, armor-piercing rounds forcing 3 squads of conscripts into retreat, and these conscripts over here are going to find themselves alone, cut off, riding in green fields with the sun on their face, and I don't know what the Russian version of Elysium is, but they are there because they are already dead. Now, Gren's coming forward, so they're going to see these Zis guns going to decide to back away before they can come under fire, and just more fuel spammed out by Koichan, and I don't understand why. And hey, it's going to be assault support doctrines. So there's that cargo truck being called in. And I want to see how that works. So increases, does not prevent sector from being captured and mobilized, blah, 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 blah. So what's he going to make more of, though? Is it be munitions? I want to see it. Increase my supplies. Go. Or not. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Whatever. Ah, there he goes. So he is down, and how much is he bringing in, though? How much is he bringing in? I don't know. I have to go back and look at the tape while we're thinking about it because it doesn't actually show up over here. In the middle part of the map, though, we are back to that massive rush in of conscripts that just kind of come forward and get taken out. Come forward and get taken out. It's like the worst jack-in-the-box ever. And I don't know, does this guy actually cost that much supply? No, he doesn't. He just comes in and just doesn't really take up that much supply, I don't think. B4 just continues to be kind of an issue, just hustles back and forth. The 222, outdated, really. It's kind of forced back, and indeed, oh no, but this machine gun might get savaged now. Yeah, they're going to be caught out. There's a flamethrower here. There's a lot of conscript rifle fire. But no, they're going to make it out just barely okay. Center part of the field, this Dushka's going to hold things down for quite a bit, and P-Gren's now on the map as well for Kpen. So it's just action all over the place here. But we might see a dead combat engineer squad. Could we see that? That could be rather lucky for the Germans, rather unlucky for the Russians. No, instead they're going to get it away. They're going to fly away indeed, my friends. Fragmentation bombs actually now up for Kpen. We don't see those very often, mostly because they just seem very underpowered. I mean, and they're not really, but they just seem underpowered. So 180 munitions. Maybe what he'll do is drop this in the middle part of the map. It'd be kind of fun. It'd be even more fun though for me to actually do the strafing run. And there it is. Yep, there's the strafing run. P4 is going to come in to kind of give a little bit of line of sight. And what kind of LOS does he have right now? Okay, yep, so that Dushka's going to get hit pretty hardcore in a second. Any moment now. And with P4 sliding up, we're going to also see probably a run on that as well. Why did he not strafe? Strange.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Strafe, you jerk. Strafe. You know, apparently that Junker is just on a bit of a holiday there. P4 in the meantime is just going to take a lot of hits. And I don't know, yeah, that Junker's not doing a whole lot. It's really not hitting quite as much as I hoped it would. He's not strafing anybody, he's not hitting anything. Wow, this is very depressing. Very much a letdown. Conscripts are going to get savaged. They're being forced away, and oh dear God, there we go. Finally seeing that. Hitting targets of opportunity. Apparently has been having a nice, massive bullseye in their head before they can actually call it a target of opportunity. Do we have time for one more run coming in from that plane? No, we don't. That's going to run out, and really, as far as I understand, it's just really one run. P guns come in though, do take out that mortar pit, and with that, Kpen actually is in a good position here. Picks up that mortar himself, and as long as he takes it home, oh no, he might even lose it right now because with Dushka there and the conscripts, it'd be better for him to boogie. Dude, pack in a doggy bag and get out of there now. Dude, you can have leftovers. You can come back and eat some more. It's a buffet. It's always a buffet, year round. For $29.95, you can do whatever you want to. He's gonna back away though instead, so we're good to go. A lot of his units for Kpen actually hurt pretty badly here. But that Panzer IV continues to be quite an issue for the Soviets. 15 kills on him already. Only 6 on his other compadre there. And I'm kind of wondering, will the P4 charge forwards just enough to start circle strafing that Zisgun? No, but he will have to put a shot down on top of it, and that will be enough to draw some fire. But the question is, who's he going to aim at? No, 222 is going to somehow get away from that shot. Interesting. 412 to 371. It is 21 minutes and almost 22 minutes into this game. Germans might lose his VP to the south, at least have it decapped. Not a whole lot of legitimate opportunity for the Russians to really cap it completely for themselves. But hey, you know what? It's a living, right? Unfortunately, that engineer is going to find out that strapping a giant tank of fuel to your back might be a bad idea. Might be. Just guessing. It's possible. I'm not saying it is. It's just saying it's possible. Dushka, in the meantime, is going to lock down this road and savage this grenadier push. One squad has already been suppressed. The other one gets suppressed in the meantime, but at least they do decap. And actually, here comes a fragmentation run. Where did it hit, though? I don't know. I missed that, folks. I'm sorry. Meantime, M4 Sherman has come out, and P4 has been taken out in the meantime by the combination of that Zisgun and that flanking Sherman. And indeed, you see these guys right now getting hurt hardcore by that Sherman just starts running over everything in sight. But this seems to bother the German player too much. He's going for a Stug to kind of start balancing out the Shermans, and one-on-one, as long as the Sherman doesn't get behind, the Stug can hold up pretty well. I mean, it's a, you know, qualified tank destroyer for first place, and then in the second place, well, it's a solidly built little vehicle. Front armor is pretty darn good, and that 76mm upgun tends to kind of bounce a little more often than you might like. Oh jeez. But things are looking a little bit dire in the immediate prospects for the Germans. Pack 40 is set up over here, trying to get a line somewhere on something. In the meantime, that Zisgun has been decrewed, which is a small victory, but it's still a very, very important one for the Germans. And Dushka is going to get forced back as well. Can he get chased like crazy by the 222? No, but the 222 decides it's probably not the best idea to go charging off into the wild blue yonder, especially when we know that other Shermans to be around. And both players take a teeny tiny bit to take a big breath. Worth noting right now that well, the 222 is trying to take out these Zisguns, which is not going to be the easiest thing in the world. I'm surprised to see there was actually not a whole lot of fuel caches out on the map just yet. It's going to be a rush. Can you get that last burst of fire to take out that gun? There it goes, just before the Soviets get to it. So another 222 is safe for a little bit longer. And that Stug now has that little metal plate to support that machine gunner's position. He's got a pretty good view up there. It's a little bit kind of Not perfect. I mean, that giant metal plate in front of him does kind of cut down on his vision, but it does protect him, so I guess it balances out. A little bit of apples and oranges kind of opportunity here. Now, where is that mortar, and why is it not firing? Well, it's just not firing because, I suppose. And the Germans themselves are going to find their northern strategic points kind of taking a little bit of fire, but these Pios are game, sending back sheets of flame with, I don't know, kicking things up a notch a little bit. We got Emerald going on in the north. And actually, everything's getting kicked up further and further. The Shermans are now deployed, the Dushko's coming up, so that 222 is going to get picked off any second now, I'm sure of it. Just going to start unloading on the 222. 222, time to book it out of there, big guy. Yep, he's popped the armor-piercing rounds, too. So, actually, it seems like Kpen was able to cheat the Russians out of just 15 munitions there for the AP rounds. It's not the greatest victory, but at the same time, it's still decent enough to note. Grenadiers in the south supporting this machine gun, pinning these conscripts that are trying to take their fuel source. And for the moment, that 222 is not going down. I keep seeing shots come in towards them, and I keep thinking to myself, it's gonna be the dead 222. But no, it ends up being the Stug this time, or ends up being a miss. Just very, very fortunate light vehicle there. Okay, targets of opportunity being called in. Here comes that Ju-87. And I dare say, could we see rounds coming down on top? Yep, we're going to see the Soviet infantry hammered pretty hardcore, and maybe we might even see some runs happening on top of this Sherman. No, instead he decides to go for a little bit of a flyby first, and keep things a little bit cautious, a little bit friendly. Not sure why, but hey, that's cool, whatever. But Kpen's just looking to stall out now. He's just going to go and... That's awfully aggressive of them. But he's got, he's got all the Soviet infantry suppressed or pinned in base. That's pretty funny to me. Probably not so funny for Koi-chan. And he's forcing back that Sherman as well. Just the bit of a threat. It's going to be more than enough to see that vehicle in retreat. And shockingly enough, he was able to shoot down a Junker, which I guess is not the biggest of surprise. The Junker itself was very outdated by the time World War II came around, especially the Junker 87, which is what we see here. It was super slow by comparison, and it was fairly fragile as planes go. Big Soviet push coming to the southeast. Dushka is supported by a couple of squadron conscripts and a combat engineer flame squad. But that captured mortar is going to cause quite a bit of a pain to any squad of conscripts or Russians really moving to the center part of the battle space. Molotov package has finally been created. It's wow, really? It's taken a long time for that to come through. And geez, this first M4 Sherman might go down. The one to the south is already taking a Panzerfaust as well. So both of them Panzerfausted into oblivion. One of the 222 is going to charge or something like gutsy like that. No, it's going to be the Stug coming up to the north, looking to pick on that Sherman. He can see him, can't he? Apparently he can't. And both of these guys are going to back away. Pack 40 is looking to get a couple of shots, and it's not going to happen. And good lord, it's just all day, every day. But that Tiger is coming in now, so Kpen is a big edge in firepower right now. To the point that if I was the Shermans, I don't even want to be on the map. I'm guessing 380 hits, here comes another Sherman. I would just start spamming Shermans like crazy. I know my opponent's got... I know my opponent is playing now. Sorry guys, it's very late and I've had a glass or two of a beverage that is a little bit less than non-alcoholic. So I'm a little concerned right now. And geez, now the Ziskin's been captured too? Okay, these Shermans just either you need to spam out Shermans or... What can he do actually at this point? That's going to be worthless. That's good, but only against a 222 and infantry, which is good and all that. Maybe a couple of mortars to kind of get him back into the game? I don't necessarily know. I do see that with the conscript repair packages, Ah, great. We're finally seeing the mechanized armor compania, so we'll maybe see some T-34s coming out as well. Oh, Kpen is fully capped out. He is not getting any more. Dushka is sliding around to the south, looking to sprint a little bit. They're going to get through that field of fire, or no? No, they're not. They're going to get suppressed before they make it all the way through. Probably another burst of fire or two, and indeed, it just allows the Tiger to kind of slide in and abuse these poor machine guns. Jeez, savage like crazy. One more round could see these guys taken out. Maybe even a weapon drop. No, thankfully those guys do manage to get away. M4 Shermans are going to come up though. And this other Dushka is not going to do a whole lot. I'm going to start to see this kind of start turning back really into Kpen's favor. He was pushed back for a good portion of the map. No, the tickets right now don't necessarily support that assessment. But with the Tiger and the P4 in a very, very confined battle space, I don't know if Koi Chan really has the immediate wherewithal to get back in this. He's losing conscripts like crazy. He's lost his one Dushka already. They could drop down to the south, yes, and the Dushka itself is available for being picked up. So if Kpen wants to sacrifice an infantry squad to do so, he could fairly easily. But instead, Koi Chan is going to go for a Katyusha. I'm not sure I agree with this play. I think you really want to do is start really spamming out a lot more armor, whether it's T-34s or it's the M4Cs. And I guess you would really want to pick one or the other, but not both. It would be better in the long term to go for a more armor-centric play. Tiger's coming to the north though. He's got prioritized vehicle on, and both guys miss or just kind of ping something off to the side. I guess these conscripts are trying to come in to get an AT grenade off. Will they do it? I don't know. Yeah, they will, but it's going to impact on the front armor and won't have the desired effect. 32:05 into the game, 381 to 279. And that kerfuffle is definitely happening up in the north, but the Germans seem content to let the Russians have the position for the time being. Now, if I were them, I wouldn't be giving that up. I'd be like saying, you know, not one step backward, comrades. You take one step back, I shoot. But it seems that not everybody agrees with my much more aggressive stance on defense. Katyusha, though, does announce its presence and might be able to take out this mortar. It does. Mortar is going to drop. But it's not destroyed, which is still a win, I would say, for Kpen. The Katyusha, though, does get a fair amount of veterancy, I think, from the first volley. Yep, 5 kills, already up to almost to a full star of veterancy. And with that creeping barrage thing, that thing is scary, son. Can be scary, anyway. Alright, though. What can the Germans do to get, kind of be more aggressive? I don't know. I think right now he's playing the long game right now. 381 to 263. He's got 2 of the 3 VPs. He's not recreated the mortar. Not that he can really use it that easily. I mean, there's no necessity to do it. He had 2 squads of Pyos to be roving mechanics. He's got the supply truck. Kind of wondering, could he call another supply truck in and just like stick it down over here in the fuel? Or nah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I guess what we're looking for is maybe a aggressive push. Oh geez, another Katyusha's coming out. This is a strange play. No, he does not have the infantry advantage. And no, he will not have the infantry advantage either. Tiger's going to announce his presence. He's going to put a couple of rounds into these conscripts. Conscripts are not going to like that very much. Another round is going to come in. And geez, those Shermans just bouncing rounds. Deflecting like crazy, boys. They're giving it away. Oy vey. But another Katyusha is on the map. Are we going to see barrages while the tanks are out to play? I don't know if that's going to be the right play for the Soviets. The Kpen is forced back a little bit just because he doesn't want to get too caught out by this. Grenadiers to the north are going to take a fair amount of hits, but that Tiger tank is still there. He's still listening. Yikes, and when shots like that come through, you don't want to be a Soviet soldier out on the map. There goes that flamethrower. Will you put one more round to try to take it out, or no? No, it appears he will not. Instead, what's going to happen, he's going to throw down fragmentation bombs on top of the Dushka. So how good will this go? Wow. That was way better than I thought it was going to go. Taking out the Dushka as well as one of those squads of conscripts, and takes out the machine gun as well, so Kpen is losing a lot of his infantry. Forced to start making more combat engineers, and those guys do not come cheap. That's a very, very hard pill to swallow right now. I mean, it's 170, so it doesn't seem like it's that much, but when you really should be getting, oh jeez, a lot more armored vehicles, but you know, barrages like that, I guess I can't complain too much. So many rockets come in. It's gonna look like the crater, excuse me, the face of the moon over here. Craters galore. Got Neil Armstrong all up in this business. Oh well. Hazard removal though. So they're gonna put down a couple of mines up here. You see that lens flare happening right now. So they're trying to repair the M4Cs. And maybe that's the right play. Maybe that's the play. Hold things down just as much as possible. That could be it. But that Tiger tank is still there. He's going to come up and get himself another shot or two into this infantry, and he's not going to be able to miss either. Wow, he does miss. He takes one conscript, and that's it. Another round coming through? No, he appears to say, I'm going to put a shot across your bow, because again, I am a gentleman. It is just so nice to see the Germans fighting like gentlemen. It wouldn't be my first choice what to do. And indeed, these Grenadier squads are going to start to take some hits as well. Not great for them, and this, oh geez, Sherman is showing its heels to the enemy. Not a great plan, but a couple of AT grenades come out, very, very opportunistic ones, and are able to damage that Tiger just enough to force him back. So we could see a dive, but with the Pack 40 and the Zis gun, it might be the best opportunity. And indeed, bringing in right now that Junker, he is able to force away all of the Allied infantry and allow his own armor to start hammering in on that Sherman. The Stug actually goes after the one Sherman. It's going to be rear armor hit again. One more shot, we'll see him dead. And there goes one Sherman already. He is brewed up, and that is one pot of coffee I would not want to drink. But now comes the next set of barrage. Rockets coming in. There goes the mortar already. He is taken out. The Pioneers are going to cut and run. Probably the best thing about this, though, is the fact that that Tiger doesn't really care whether or not those rockets come in. He's got to get hit by like 3 or 4 of them before it's really an issue. Okie dokie, though. The M4C Sherman has been called in, and yep, full 11 and 3 kills for the respective Katyushas. But what has not happened is that these Russians have not gotten themselves a real good handle on the territory situation. I'm pretty sure these guys can't. Oh, these guys can go into capture mode. I didn't even realize that. Gotta get that 1-star veterancy first, and that's not going to go very well if they allow their troops to get hammered by Stugs off to one side. Conscript's going to charge forward. They're probably going to get a AT grenade off or 2. Or will they? Or will they? No, it seems instead they're going to get themselves distracted by the much closer and very, very easily hit Grenadiers. We're going to throw a Panzerfaust out and then realize, I got better things to do. I think I hear my mother calling, and they back away before getting hit. Or taken out of the field, actually, permanently, excuse me. 381 to 151, 38-49 into this game, and folks, we are coming through a real humdinger. I am surprised that Stalin's organ over here has not had a greater effect, but I guess he's not been able to really find his opponent. Now, I do want to see him use maybe creeping barrage over in this area, clear area mines. I mean, he knows they're there. So you might as well, right? I don't know. Oh well. But it's going to be conscripts pushed back in turn. And indeed, that's exactly what he was doing. He was trying to find the next target for his rockets. Unfortunately for him, he will take out some of these mines, but he won't take out any full squads. And indeed, that Tiger's come in. He's taking a engine damaged hit, but he's already taken out the 2-star vet Katyusha. which is less than ideal if I can use the understatement of the century here. Another AT grenade coming out, but even if Kpen loses this Tiger, he can call another one in immediately. And with Pack 40 coming in, I don't think the Sherman's going to get out either. Yep, one shot comes in already from the Zis gun, and that's going to be all she wrote.
We have lost one of our armored vehicles.
And Koi Chan is really, really hurting right now. He does have a Sherman in the backfield. He's going to go for it. He's going to try to go flank around. He's going to blitz the quarterback, but I don't think this is going to be the right play, ladies and gentlemen. No, sir. He is cornered by the defense. And dear God, do you see how many just Panzerfausts and everything that just came in on him? Yikes. Sherman might take out that Stug, and that would just be a shame because that guy's been so brave. And never mind, he's going to get forced back. Oh, jeez. Could this be the death of another Sherman? Yep, he's going to get brewed up as well. He's gone. Nothing really left for Koi Chan to do besides tap out. I mean, he doesn't have the supplies to call in more... what's the term I'm looking for here? More M4Cs. And dear God, that 222 is still alive. He's only got 9 kills, but he's there. He's definitely being plucky. In the north, they're going to see this 3-star squad of conscripts forcing back grenadiers, but they're probably going to get hammered in turn. No, and instead it's going to be the 222 and the support crew's taking some rockets from the Katyushas. Excuse me, Katyusha, singular. But the Katyusha apparently doesn't have to, you know, really aim for anything, and it proves that it doesn't aim. Jeez, that Tiger just has an absolute, like a magnet for all the mines in the world. But one shot has come out. He's definitely hammering into the Soviets. Jeez. No more blitzkrieg tactics for you, my friend. With 21 kills, another shot or two. Yeah, this conscript squad really needs to book it out of there. For 381 to 107, and I don't know what can be done. Koi Chan's going to call in an Su-85. I don't think that'll be it, though. I really don't think. I do like all the mines that are getting placed. He's had huge amounts of munitions for this entire game. I'm actually kind of curious why he's not just been spamming out AT grenades every single time he sees a German vehicle in any direction. He did a very, very good job early on throwing it out onto that, what is the term I'm looking for, the 222, but he was never able to quite follow it up. Yeah, and again, I don't agree with the fact that he's calling the Dushkas, or the Dushkas he called in early on, that 300 manpower is an awful big bit of investment. Okay. And what's going to happen here, he's going to actually try to call in the Junker to really be putting fire down on anything he can see, forcing the Katyusha to move to a different part of the, a completely different side of the map. And it's going to loiter quite a bit, but I do declare this machine gun emplacement to be deceased. And although this Su-85 will probably get some rounds off on top of this bad boy, everything for the Germans will be coming up Millhouse. Su-85 is down to half health. The Junker has got pretty much half of the Soviet infantry pretty much under suppression if they want to. Shockingly enough, he's not going to even make a run on that. Very surprised to see he's not making a run in the Su-85. I would have thought that'd been perfect. And instead, actually, mine goes off underneath the Su-85 and really, really hurts it. Puts it down to engine damage. There could be a charge in. Could see the death of the Su-85. And now there's no more mines in play either. That's should be completely seen pretty much for our German player. A second Su-85 is being called in, but it appears like Kpen is just starting to put a couple of rounds into all the base buildings for Koi Chan. Not sure if it's an FU play or what the deal is. And that, you know, strafing rounds are not actually going to be able to do a whole lot of damage to the Su-85. Machine guns don't do a whole lot to 20-30 millimeters of armor, I suppose. Soviets in the south are sneaking around another squad of conscripts yet again, going in behind these pack guns and laying into him. But they're not going to appreciate what happens when they are in turn sandwiched. And then, guys, that is the sandwich with the fun cream in the center. Then you get forward just long enough to really be kind of moderately annoying, maybe even decrew this Pack 40. But who cares at this point? You lose those conscripts, not a good sign for you. And they even make it away, too. So, wow, and there's another Stug on the field. How did I not even see that? It's been... That's why, I guess. It's just been because there's been so much domination by Kpen here. Rounds coming in. Where's he aiming? He's looking for that 222, and a lucky round or two could see it. Oh no, he backs away just before it explodes on top of his fuselage. And he makes it away. Now, can it be just a nice little bit of a armor engagement here? You know, I'm going to turn off the HUD so we can see, hopefully, some nice, beautiful cinematic shots. The Su-85s charge forwards. And I dare say that might be a fragmentation run. Yep, fragmentation run coming in. So these infantry might even just evaporate. Did they? Yep, one did. This other squad's going to charge forwards to try to get AT grenade out, but it's not going to be the case. And indeed, Germans coming out of the north are going to put a Panzerfaust or two into Su-85s, I would imagine. One Stug does go down, but the P4 and the Tiger will not be denied. They are charging in. They're putting rounds into these combat engineers. And the P4, surprisingly enough, is just like, you know, bro, I don't care if that thing is going to damage me, even possibly kill me. P4 does go down in the meantime. He gets another round off before he goes down, though. There he goes. Katyusha is down. Su-85 is down. And no, that is going to be it for Koi-chan. He realizes he can't hold out any longer. And after 46 minutes and 42 seconds, we see a tap out. Well played to Kpen 97. And well fought to Koi-chan. Unfortunate, but well fought nonetheless. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. If you have a game you want me to check out, please email me the replay or let me know where it is online at khanulricgaming@gmail.com. But that's going to be it for me. Take it easy. Have a great day. Ulrich signing off.